What's up, everyone? What's up? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I go by Zombie. I'm very passionate about spirituality, specifically astrology. And with this channel, one of my main goals is just to be able to show people how self-improvement and spirituality really do go hand in hand. And so if you're interested in any of that, go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me. And without further ado, let's hop right in. So, I'm going to leave a link down below in the description. If you click it, it'll take you to a site where you can enter in your own personal information and it'll create a chart for you. And from that point, you can kind of start to go down your own journey of self-discovery. But in this series, I've been running through the placements that you would find in your birth chart and what that means. And in this video, we're going to be talking about your Neptune sign. So, in astrology, Neptune is related to dreams, fantasy, illusion, and spiritual enlightenment. It is a planet of loss, isolation, and dissolution. Your Neptune sign shows how you can tap into your spiritual side, as well as an area of life where you might experience confusion. Now, the area of life thing goes back to, excuse me, goes back to the houses, right? And I'm gonna do a separate series on houses. But when you talk about your generational planets, right, your outer planets, specifically Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, the effects of these placements definitely can be seen across a whole, collective, a whole generation. Think about, Gen Zers, right? What this means with the Gen Zers, basically, your Uranus sign would be Aquarius. Neptune would be Aquarius as well, and at that time, within that little 10 period window, Pluto would have been in Sagittarius. Yeah. And so what that basically means is your Uranus sign would be in Aquarius if you're Gen Z, your Neptune would be in Aquarius, and your Sag would be, why do I keep fucking saying that? And so what that basically means is if you're Gen Z, your Uranus sign is Aquarius, your Neptune was in Aquarius as well, and your Pluto would be in Sagittarius. These outer planets, generational planets, as I said, they take a little bit longer time to travel around the sun versus your personal inner planets like Mercury and Venus. And that's why, like I said, these effects will, be more so seen on a collective level. So basically, on a collective level, Gen Z having Pluto and Sagittarius could definitely be, a more spiritually enlightened generation of people. Neptune and Aquarius, it could definitely be more spiritually enlightened, because of that. But also, more probably visionary type of people. You started seeing a lot of younger people, become woke, right, or aware with the onset of Gen Z. And so that's just one of the manifestations of the energy. Now back to Neptune on a personal level. Again, like I said, it'll make more sense when I get into the houses, but even the sign can tell you a little bit. So like, let's just say you had Neptune in Aquarius. So like I said, like let's just say you're Gen Z. Depending on the house, there's going to be a slight difference, of course, from person to person. But overall, with Neptune and Aquarius, Aquarius being a very social sign, very social sign. Excuse me. An air sign, of course, very social, very communicative. With Neptune there, though, when it comes to, social settings, right? Maybe not necessarily friends, but just, social settings in general, might have confusion when it comes to trusting people in certain situations. But when you get back to a personal level, like I said, the effects aren't quite as obvious. But again, they are still there. So like with Gen Z, going back to Gen Z, of course, with Neptune and Aquarius, like I said, your Neptune sign can show you how you could tap into a deeper sense of spirituality. So with Neptune being in Aquarius, you definitely would probably be a visionary type, Gen Z. If spirituality is something you're interested to, or something you become aware of, learning about it and possibly experiencing it within a group or group setting, could definitely be a way that you could tap into it and to deepen that connection, that you have with yourself and also to others. However, like I said, the effects of generational planets, the outer planets, is definitely more so seen on a collective level versus the individual. So moving right along, you have spirituality correlation. So moving right along to the correlation, moving right along to the correlations, you have spirituality, disillusion, as I said, illusion, and transcendence. Neptune rules the sign Pisces, right? And Piscean people can kind of be seen as delusional sometimes in the way they act, or like, stuck in their head a lot in the clouds. Excuse me. And this comes from the fact that they do have a very strong, imagination naturally being ruled by Neptune. The energy of Pisces also is related to the right brain, the more subconscious, more intuitive half of your brain versus the left, which is represented by Virgo, the more logical, straightforward, analytical half of your brain. And so, when you think Neptune, that energy associated with Neptune kind of encompasses all things fantasy, all things dream, all things, subconscious in a sense. And also the esoteric. I probably should have placed this on here as well. However, I wanted to keep it more catered towards the personal, individual. But most definitely, the energy of Neptune is associated with the esoteric knowledge, hidden things. Secrets, not necessarily in a Pluto way, but most definitely things that are hidden and things that aren't quite as they, may appear to be at first. Definitely associated with Neptune energy. So functionality wise, the home sign for Neptune, we have Pisces. Again, Neptune rules Pisces. Detriment is Virgo, of course, opposite sign of Pisces. So functionality wise, Neptune is at home in the sign of Pisces. Neptune is in Pisces right now, so most likely kids that are been born between like 2012 2026, I want to say, they're definitely probably gonna, with Neptune at home in Pisces, they're definitely naturally probably gonna be more in tune spiritually, right, with themselves, with people around them, maybe even with animals to a certain extent, nature, just way more at tune, right, on a spiritual level with life, the Neptune and Pisces generation that's currently being born and popped into existence right now. But the detriment, we have Virgo, most definitely being that, not even the fact that Virgo is the opposite of Pisces, but the fact that Virgo is just such a very logical, straightforward energy. Neptune being in Virgo can definitely make it kind of hard for your imagination to, roam in kind of a healthy way like it, needs to sometimes, especially when it comes to like self-reflection and things of that nature. Not being too overly critical of yourself, right, when it comes to understanding yourself. And exaltation wise, this one's up for debate. I personally would say Sagittarius, most definitely. Sag is also a very spiritual sign, definitely a very imaginative, intuitive sign as well, just like Pisces. And so I feel like the energy of Neptune would have a very comfortable time expressing itself in the sign of Sagittarius. And fall wise, that would place it the fall in Gemini, excuse me. Likewise to the Pisces and Virgo theme, very similar here. Gemini is also ruled by Mercury, definitely a straightforward thinker. Now, Gemini can be kind of scattered at times, but definitely way more mental, right? Energy wise, way more logical and straightforward than, the energy of Neptune would like to be confined to, right? And so that was your Neptune sign, a little bit about how that would affect you on a personal level. But again, remember with the outer planets, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, definitely more of a focus on the collective, on the whole, right? You have your generational planets, like I said, with Gen Z, the Uranus being in Aquarius for pretty much all of us, Neptune being in Aquarius and Pluto being in Sag, kind of an overarching, theme there. But like I said, I'm going to leave a link down below so you can go and look at your own chart, start your own little journey of self-discovery. And until next time, I'm out. Peace.